It's movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom. He's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if it's a spectacle. From San Francisco to Long Island. 'Cause nothing's better than emotion.
It's Movie Time is produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to broadcast. God dang it. It's Movie Time is produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to broadcast show Fridays at 101. I am just having trouble
That's
talking.
quite all right.
It's Movie Time is produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to broadcast shows Fridays at 4:01 and 8:01 p.m. Read reviews and listen to shows online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando,
And I'm Mundy Mcfann.
and this is Movie Time.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, right away. I ordinarily don't do this. I'm
Yes.
showing my cards here.
Fair?
The movie The Life of Chuck
Yes.
is probably my favorite of this year so far.
Really?
Yes.
Well, then this is going to be an interesting
Good.
conversation.
Good. Yeah. Set it up, Mindy.
Wow. It is told backwards, and it is 3 vignettes, and there's one man that kind of runs through all 3 of the vignettes, Chuck, and that it's juxtapositioned by him at different ages, and then other people that he either comes in contact with literally, or the picture of him comes in contact with these people,
Yeah, Chuck is played by Tom Hiddleston,
who I love.
and he was best known originally as Loki.
Yep.
And I right away knew that he was something better than that. He has a double classics degree from Cambridge.
He's a lovely man.
He is.
He's great on Graham Norton.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
he's
well.
wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and Mindy, the set piece that knocks me out is, of course, the dance sequence.
Yes, he loves the dance. He dances on Graham Norton too.
He does?
Yep. That's why I knew he liked it.
So what does he do on Graham Norton?
It's just a talk show, so he talks, but I've seen him a few times. He's very funny and outgoing and charming, and he dances because he loves it.
Oh my God. And so that's in his middle life. I mean, he's dying at 39.
Correct.
And we know this because as it gets more expressionistic, we have signs in the sky and everywhere thanking Chuck for the 39 years.
Yes.
And that could perplex some people, and I don't blame them, but this, to me, this is more like Malick and Spielberg in their the kind of reminiscent that's really kind of gauzy and sentimental.
Right.
You know, and, but anyway, but then, Mindy, when I thought you couldn't possibly top his dancing, so I see this kid dancing him as a young man. And I said,
So cute.
whoa, my gosh, was he good?
Yeah.
Probably
He's
8
great.
years old or so.
I would say. He's cute. Very cute.
Sixth grader, and that's the first section. That's his early life. Meaning, if you put it together,
It's very hard.
Right.
It's backwards, yes.
Yeah. And if you put that together and you see him in his early stage,
Right.
then you can see where he got his inspiration to do a kind of crowd dance with a young woman. And he's an accountant.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we initially, even though it's hard to put him down in any way,
Right.
but initially we know he's an accountant and he's carrying his little bag.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
His
Little
li-
suit. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he hears this drummer, a real drummer apparently,
Mhm.
Taylor I think something is his name,
Mhm.
and he puts his hand, I love the way he to hit the beat.
Right. Right.
And he's really, really good. So we see Chuck mostly, I think, in the middle section, right? That is it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tom Hiddleston's not in it that much.
I know.
Relative. I mean, he's not the. I guess I thought it was going to be all him.
Yeah, right.
And in the beginning part, it's just his picture, beginning, end. And then at the end beginning, it's just the younger version of him.
So what's going on? What do you think, Mike Flanagan, who usually does horror films?
Right. I'm guessing, I think it was just about how fleeting time is, and how important it is to enjoy every second of it.
Thank you.
Because it
Yeah.
doesn't last forever.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's smoothly done, as long as you can accept, and you and I have discussed this many times, and that I have to go with the director.
Mhm.
Wherever the director's going, I want to be there, and I'll just tell him or her what I felt about the movie.
Right,
And so I sit there, and when I see it's really going into the expressionistic realm,
right,
I'm accepting it.
right.
And but I'm an old romantic myself, Mindy,
Mhm.
so when you throw this stuff out there, I'm just happy as heck.
Right.
How about you? You're more of a realist than I am.
I don't know if I'm more a realist. I didn't, I was surprised by the simplicity of it.
Okay.
Because it seemed like it just had one theme. So I kept thinking it was gonna develop more and have more theme to it than just the fleetingness of time. I didn't feel the connection between the three sections.
Okay.
I thought the guy that played the teacher was wonderful.
Oh, he's Chi Watsafal Jayafor.
Yeah.
Oh, he is great.
But I had trouble connecting him to Chuck per se. So I had more trouble with it than you.
Yeah, yeah, and it's only because I let it go.
Mhm.
Because I agree with everything that you've said.
Right.
If you start poking at this thing, it's not going to hold up at all.
Yeah,
But if you accept it as almost like a dream vision,
yeah,
you know, then it works for me. And looking at those, particularly at those dance sequences, I
Mhm.
thought what the film was about. And just as you said, it's about having the moment.
yes,
And then the ending of the film, which is really the end of the world.
yes. The beginning, end.
Yeah, right, you're right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it
because-
just, everything stops.
Yeah,
Everything stops.
and
And there's nothing you can do about it.
no, I know. There is a section in there, right, and I like that the grandfather, played by somebody in our culture, Mark Hamill.
Yes,
He is very good. Finally got a job.
good on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to show that he could act, because when he
Absolutely.
was in Star Wars, I just thought he was there. I
Yeah.
didn't think he had any acting chops at all.
Yeah,
And wow.
no, I thought he was real good, real good. Yeah, there's a whole mystery in the cupola of the house.
Oh,
the old
yes,
house.
yes.
Don't go in that room
I
and
know.
all that. So
Grandpa
that
does
adds
not
to the mystery.
want grandson to go into this room.
Correct. And you wonder why.
Yeah.
You know, you imagine all different kinds of things.
But isn't
might be
that
going on
typical
there. Mhm.
of a kid to
Mhm.
have that, real or not,
Yes.
places where you shouldn't go, and you know.
You just gotta.
you gotta
The
go
second
there.
you say you can't, you gotta.
I know. There is something about math in here that I thought you as
Yeah.
an educator would appreciate.
Yeah, that they explain time in mathematical. That they're accountants. The grandfather's an accountant, he's an accountant, and they explain time in a mathematical sense. So in a reality-based sense is the way I took that. That it is, you can't find facts,
Right.
and those are just the facts. The
And-
time does run out.
Yes. And what math is the truth, I think, is something he says.
Mm-hmm.
And he says it simply won't, it won't fool you in a sense. It won't trade on anything, and it won't.
It won't bend to your
It
will.
not. It will. And I thought that that really is a great explanation. I thought anybody who teaches
Mm-hmm.
would appreciate that.
Right.
And perhaps try to translate that to kids who come not naturally to math.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think math is taught so differently nowadays that it is much more reality-based and functional in how it relates to things in the world. It's less abstract the way it's taught nowadays, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So
you
I think that makes a difference.
And you think that kind of dovetails with this a little bit? Yeah.
Sure,
with this
sure.
one. So, so it's not a linear story. You don't, when
No.
it says the life of Chuck, don't expect that to happen.
No, and I think the advertising for the movie was very poor because they were comparing it with Shawshank Redemption.
Right.
And it couldn't be less like the Shawshank Redemption. So I don't go in with that expectation.
I know.
You know, because that is a full-bodied story and movie, and this is not that.
There is some sentiment in Shawshank, which is where I thought that they were might have been going. There's some hope,
Yeah.
which this movie
Yes,
likes
but
to.
I don't, I think that's a pretty slim comparison to have people have that expectation going to a movie. And I know in the past when I've seen movies that there's one funny scene in the movie and that's what they put in the advertising. And then you go to the movie and you're like, this isn't a funny movie.
Yes.
So I think that's hard for people.
Yeah.
When you set them up, this is gonna be this kind of movie.
Do you think they were misleading because they were trying to connect Stephen King, whose novella?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I mean, they were
I
making
think,
the point, and
yeah,
you're
I think
saying.
they were trying to sell seats.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yeah, because Shawshank is listed by IMDb as the most popular movie of all time.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
of course they are.
So of course they are. And,
But the problem is, it's just nothing like it.
yeah. Anyway, all right, Mindy, let's look forward to our podcast, a little more discussion
Sounds
about
like a
this.
plan.
And you have to go to WCBE.org, the podcast experience, and
Yep.
this case is going to be Back Talk. So Mindy, you're a good one for this. What do you advise our audience?
Go in with the right expectation.
Good.
I mean, I think that all movies have value in some way to you. Everybody interprets things. This is to be interpreted, but go in with the expectation that it's not a average Joe movie.
Right, and I would compliment that by saying I was thrilled by it. It is I like Terrence Malick's Tree of Life, but that is not a linear story either. You know, and so they're both into sentiment,
Right.
and they're both into universalizing.
Yep.
And our director here shows us the sky and all the stars and so on, and makes that connection. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the Walt Whitman quote,
Yeah.
and it's after this.
It's movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom, he's gonna let you know